podcast. Enjoy.
Hey people, this is Renee,
This is Bridget.
Felicia.
and this is episode 67, same book, three time zones. And this episode, great but awful year of 2025 because of politics. But
Right.
put it on like personal, just in our little bubbles. It's a great year of 2025. And especially of this podcast, because this is our second book of the year, and we are just continuing on with the series, by Grey Huffington. And book 2 is rather The Therapist. And I'm just like, look at everybody's face.
The book, it was so good.
It's like I have no words, but I have so many words. It was, oh my gosh.
It was so good. And it wasn't even just the sex part of it. It was like not even really the anticipation, just the words, the describing, the man, it was just
hear him though. You didn't hear
Yes, I did.
oh,
Up
but we
here,
didn't
I
hear it.
did.
That's okay. But
you
still,
didn't hear it though. I was like, oh my Jesus.
if I had heard that, Dwayne would have been reading this book with me because he would have been like, what?
Oh, whoever. Okay, Winston James. Because I was just all right now. But so okay, it's just like coming off the heels of chemistry, and we're like, this was freaking amazing, and we're just talking because he was crazy, but it was like that good, like they all have these like traits, and it's just like you love them anyway. You want these people to win, and then we get to this part where it finishes off when at the end he got freed, but he got free to help with his people, and he had to he sacrificed one of the sisters to get married. Before that happened, when the brother was free, when chemistry was free, Miss Ma'am met a man before, and I was,
yes.
but we like the first part that we learned in this book, because the prologue was kind of like going on along with the other book until like the chapter started, but we met Priest and his son Princeton,
Mhm.
and that restaurant scene.
With that low down
Lola. My favorite part was when he put that boy in his place who was like sniggling and giggling, and now you ain't got no job. Bye.
Oh yeah.
What you said. Oh, but yeah, man, the baby walked over to her and
He felt her. He didn't even see her.
I know. That
I
was
didn't
so awful. Because he was like, 3 at the time? And she was gone, I think he said for like 13 months. Because by the time he was 1, they got the diagnosis of him, like, having autism. And he was,
She left, right?
yeah, that's when she left, when he was 1. So this is like, almost 2 years later. And why did she wait to sign the papers if she knew she didn't want nothing to do with the baby, though? I kind of, but she never came back up, so whatever. But like, if like, sign the papers and gone,
Right. Not like she was getting money from him because he had the baby.
right. And then he got her to sign them daggone papers right then and there. Okay. No, but this boy.
At first, I thought she was with another woman.
How you thought that?
Something what I was reading. I don't know. I thought it was another woman.
Oh,
I don't know. Something. There's a lot of this book I had to reread
did you?
a few times to see. I don't know who it was they were talking about or something. But I mean, it all worked out. But I did think she was with another one.
I didn't think that, but she just awful. Like,
Yeah. And people be like that. It's unfortunate. Like that crap ain't even, yeah, whatever. Like, we're over it. She ain't got nothing to do with this. Forget her.
girl.
But so yeah, we see that he's such a great father. He's such, attention to his son, and his son loves him, and he has everything he needs with him. And but then, he's like not wanting a relationship, but he's just wanting to, to get it in, because, that's just what you need to do every now and then. And these people pay a whole bunch of money for look, I don't have the pleasure, but these people pay a whole bunch of money to have anonymity at this amazing place, so they can, do whatever their bodies desires. And It's just that immediate when he walked up in that mug and then saw her. That was it. Like
That was it.
done deal. You don't even see her face, because they have to wear masks, to protect their identities. And a couple of dudes try to talk. It was that first part when that woman came up to him and he was like, "I ain't interested." So like, I was like, "Dang, boy, you ain't gotta do it like that."
I mean, but she was there wasn't she there she came there quite a bit before and didn't do nothing to anybody,
Yeah,
So
That's
she
true.
chose too.
that's true. But a night they had. Okay.
Mm.
Oh my gosh. Look at her face.
Because y'all were like, the sex scenes wasn't it. I mean, I get that the whole book was amazing, but them scenes, oh my
Girl,
God.
every single one of them.
Yes.
They
Girl.
were awesome,
Yeah.
yes. But I mean, it was the build up to it. It was just their attraction to each other and the thoughts that they had and
Mm-hmm.
all of that intertwined together just made you just
I,
like,
yeah, I think it was like best after identities were known. Like that's when it was like, oh shoot. Like, wait a
but
minute.
when he knew it was her,
Wait a freaking minute. So listen, this man, it was 2 nights, right? It was just 2 nights.
tonight,
Just 2 nights. And then they're supposed to meet there at 10 o'clock or whatever. That was their like a great thing. She was like, I wanted, she has so much on her shoulders she has to do in her everyday life. And she's like, when it comes to this, I want like basically you to be in control. I want, you to like I don't want to have to think about stuff. I don't want to have to do like all that kind of things. And I'm like, all right, cool. But 2 days, that's it. Then she didn't show up. And it took what? The first time, all right, she ain't here. Second time, and it's like, wait, and then he told old girl who was running the thing, you can't tell me who she is, but if she ever comes, let me know. And he kept his
Hey,
tab
for
on his place
2 years.
and hers for 2 freaking years.
After two times? That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Ain't no way.
2 times.
He said that is his woman.
Man, 2 whole years he's been waiting.
I couldn't imagine how that feel though. You've been waiting 2 years, and then your brother is going crazy, so you trying to get him to, settle down. So you the one that did this. And it's the woman? Like, what? I would have been so mad. So I see why he was so mad. Like, dang.
And it was crazy because I was
Oh my
like,
God.
wait, because when somebody called him priest, I was like, priest, ain't that the person who was in the jail with chemistry and had told him what the plan was? And at that same exact time that he said that to him, that's when everything was going down. So he had no idea. I mean, how would he? But it's like business as usual. And then they were gone for 2 whole years, living on this, then I didn't think it was gonna last that long as far as like the plan going, being in motion, but they had to follow through. She knew what her position was, what her job, her obligation was, and she was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get married in 3 months to this person that my brother set up, and I'm doing it for the family. Doing it for the family. And
It's so close.
right. And she seemed optimistic. That was the thing with me. It was like she was up for the task. She wasn't like completely dreading it. She was just like, taking one for the team, but like almost kind of trying to be excited about it in a way, I guess. And then, meeting a family and like you said, like feeling the same way she did with her family, like knowing like, oh, they're close, like we're close. And then, yeah, that second dinner, because he noticed stuff and I'm like, and he kept saying it's not her. It can't be her. No, it's not her. It's somebody else. It's not her. Like, ooh.
when he saw when you
The
talking about when he
tattoo, the
saw
tattoo,
the
like when he
tattoo?
saw the tattoo and noticed that he was like, it can't be. Like the end of that chapter, it's like, no, like he was kind of convinced himself that the woman that I've been waiting for these 2 years is not the same woman that's been a married. Like, no, absolutely not. And all he said was that one word, that one name.
My heart just everything dropped. She stilled, I stilled, everybody stilled. I was like, oh,
Rose.
I
Yeah,
was like, oh, wait a minute. But oh my gosh,
I'm
what
talking
did you
about
like? What would
Rose.
you have done?
Oh my! I would have froze. I would have did what she did because what can I do? And then he would have had to, just like he did with her, tell her she can go, and then I would have got because I'm
Right.
immediately after you say Rose, I am back into that room. Was it 2206? I forget. I am back there.
Yeah.
I was like, what are they gonna do? Like,
Right.
and I just couldn't stop reading. Like I was stuck after that. I think that was at 30% when he said Rose. That's what I was talking
Like,
about.
I was like, oh, it's over. It's like it's over. Like all the
Yeah.
plans, all the preparations, everything is done. There was to me, yeah.
I don't know.
I'm like church finger. I gotta go. I don't feel
She
good.
did. I can't believe they sat there throughout the whole thing, the
Yeah.
whole time, all that. What they had, 3 courses.
Hmm.
My God, I'm sure she had a puddle in her seat when she got up.
And Clay was so sweet. Clay really wanted a sister. I remember like when she had went home that night because they were like, so you're not gonna like make sure she gets to her car? It's like she'll be all right. I remember he went too, but then the sister was there to check on her too.
I really thought she was gonna go to the place.
I did. You know what? I did too. I
I
did
just
too.
knew.
She had planned on it, but
Sophie. Oh,
sister popped up.
oh, that's true.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
pictures are going, but then she didn't because her, well, I mean, it's still gonna be her sister-in-law regardless.
Okay, so then, she had spent some time with her husband to be, and he kind of like let her know where he stood, and what was gonna be before they had to make that commitment. And how y'all felt about that?
Oh, that was her out. That was her out,
Right.
right?
That was her out for sure.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
In my mind, I was like, well, she don't want you anyway. Like, y'all don't need to be together anyway. I mean, I felt like he was young and
Yeah.
they both was getting forced into this. So he was just like, I'm finna get all the fun. But I respected that he came at her like that and he said, once we got married, it's gonna stop,
Right.
And then I respected her, like, okay, well, until you decide that this is what you want, you ain't doing nothing with
Yeah.
me. And I love that too. So
He told the truth, and I'm glad that she followed in his footsteps. Like, oh, since I don't belong to you now, I mean, you don't belong to me until that day. I don't belong to you to that day. So whatever happens between now and then, whether it's with your brother or it doesn't matter. But that's just so hard because they already had this thing, and it's like you already know it's a done deal. And like going further into that was gonna lead to nothing but disaster. Because everybody was dead set on this deadline of when it's like getting everything out of your system. But it's like the more you're together, the more you want to be together. Because they were supposed to keep it in the room. And she came there basically to tell him that she not finna, girl,
girl, no, you ain't. And then he was like, you coming here was told me everything I needed to know.
right? Because all
I
you
was
had to do was
like,
not show up. But you
yeah.
did.
Mm-hmm.
We already knew that was done.
When she was contemplating going back, girl, how you think you gonna go up there and tell him this is it? We're not doing this no. Shut up, please.
Right.
You know you about to get down.
That's the only reason you came, just like you said.
Then
That's the only reason
Like,
you give right now.
girl,
she
stop.
had to, she wasn't just lying to him. She was lying to herself. Like, tell him.
Yeah, you must have forgot when you cross that
Girl,
show. You are Rose, and nothing belongs to you. It belongs to me. Beautiful. That's
just
it.
hearing that man say that.
I tell
I need
you,
to hear that.
your legs. I tell you, I was like, oh, okay.
He's so, their nights together were, yeah. Who wouldn't be in love? I'm just saying. But like they still like had like these little talks or they would say, they would respond. He would tell her to, speak. Like he knew when something was bothering her. It was just that connection was already there. And then it took me to like, I'm thinking about when they went to the it never country club. That's the word. And she had played tennis against them. And then, I mean, their bets. But I'm like, I don't know how I would be able to keep my composure. She a better woman than me than being around all them people and acting like this man ain't got me just, she good.
It was hard for
It
him.
was. It was. And he didn't, he didn't make it easy. But
Mm-mm.
it was just the part when she talked to his son, and I was on the like, what? The baby spoke for the first time?
To
For the
her,
first time.
be the one.
That's it. I would have had a conversation with my parents right then and there. No, nope. Mm-mm. That's nope. I need her in my son need her. We need her every day. So we didn't make a different arrangement. Like, what? That baby spoke for the first time in 5 years.
His whole life. You're right.
And he said, Woody. Oh my gosh, that was so awesome. And how she was like signing stuff to him to tell him like he's okay. And, the dad stepping in like, oh, no, you the therapist now. We need to schedule something with you. And the love that they had and care that they had, like that boy did not need that woman who didn't want her. I mean, want him, his biological mom. I think that part sold me for sure. That was it. Once your kid's in, bam.
No, I love it.
That
Yeah.
was
Can
that
I
was
tell
it.
y'all what I secretly was hoping for?
So
So
give me
crazy. I don't think I'm so mean, but I am not.
what?
Okay. You know how Kofi was, he was just out there doing whatever. And I was hoping that the boy got dead so they could be together.
No, no.
Yes. I'm like, that's
I
the
know.
only way they could be together is if he die.
He was gonna get somebody knocked up, and then they would just have to not get dead, not get dead.
I said he gonna have to die because how else they gonna be together? How else? That's what I was thinking the whole time. Every time they mention, oh, he gonna die. Oh, he gonna
And
Maybe,
you
maybe
happy
he's just
about
gonna
it?
say, maybe
die.
he's his own man and say, no, I'm not getting married.
He
And he can
can't.
do that. Yes,
Yeah.
he can.
She's like, there's
He
no
can
other
say
option
no.
but death. She's over here with Rugger, like, oh,
That's it.
wholehearted.
Priest was even hoping, he was like, I hope he just don't go through with it.
And but see, there were moments, especially just that one when he was at that club on his own, and his brother got that phone call because
Oh
some other
yeah.
and I was like, oh, but nothing happened. But yeah,
Y'all gone it. No, I'm just
you are so wrong. Kofi, I didn't want nothing bad to happen to him.
I did.
I want him to have
Too. I didn't want that to happen to him either.
and oh, that little part, but she handled it really good though. When they had went to that some bar or something, and the girl that he had just slept with the night before tried to like talk stupid.
Yeah,
But rather, she handled that very well, and
very well.
I
She
was very
did.
proud.
She did.
I love how he showed up before she even got to the house. How, like, if you ever need to get out, this is where you go. Like, and then also after she told him about the situation, he was like, okay, we're gonna find another way to to get her out of it. And just the
Talk
brotherly.
about chemistry.
Yes.
Oh,
You remember, yeah, when Kimber, she was like, when she first got into her house and red roses, and I'm like,
yeah,
and
yeah,
the smudge
yeah.
is like, okay. Honestly, I didn't think that didn't cross my mind that it was her brother.
Me
I
neither.
didn't
I
think
thought it was the
that was her
family,
brother.
the new family. That's what I was thinking.
You thought it was the new
It was
family?
something to do with the new family. Like maybe.
I thought it was just something to do with their organization. Like somebody had got privy to information and they were going to try, and it was going to be a whole different story. But yeah, I didn't think it was her. And then he was like, "You missed. Like how you miss?"
I was so happy that it was him. I was feeling so sad for her.
Oh, he's so caring and loving, and of course she's gonna fall in love with somebody just her brother crazier, but still, I well,
Well,
Mr. Priest walked
well,
up in that what they turned them
they
lights
the
off, and he
same.
just pew 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 pew, and then walked back out. He done did it. Every girl,
Mm,
I don't need that in my life, but it's like, would I like turn it down?
I
girl.
ain't turned
Don't
it
tell
down.
me about that side. Just don't tell me, let me be, blind to it. But anyway, okay, so in the beginning, they was like keeping their thing within the mansion. And then after he done, shot up all the people, I guess he was like, man, F that. Look, it is what it is. I'm at your door. Drop them. Let's get it. I don't care what you got to say.
She
And
was mad, and she should have been mad because he should have just kept it there. This is too,
oh,
it's too close. The
very
boy, he could come over there at any moment.
Oh
Kofi.
my, every single
Right?
time. I'm like, nigga gonna be at the door. He gonna walk in, see y'all. Like, every single time. How did they get away with that?
I
There's
don't know.
no way. See, the author did that on purpose because we just knew, like, there's no way they're gonna keep doing this and nobody's gonna find out on
Right.
surprise. But no, they found out by you telling them. It's like, okay, well.
Nobody.
And how she like, was confiding in her family and telling them, the truth about things, and they're all like, "Well, get it out your system now, boo boo," because
I
yeah.
know which one I would say, you can have them both at the same time.
Oh, so I got two hoes, and I will say, "Well, no, you got three." I'm like, you know what?
Was that Rugged? Because
I
I
think
feel
Ruger
like,
said that. Yes, and
No, it probably was roulette, huh?
oh, okay,
no,
okay.
Ruger said the she got two hoes part, and then
That part.
another sister
Her book
said
right now,
boys.
she's nasty, so she might have been the one.
Like not with no brothers, fool. But man, because they both fine. And of course, she's attracted to Kofi too. And I'm like, oh Lord, what she gonna do? Because, but man, it's just as it kept going and going, it's like they just kept digging this hole deeper.
Yeah,
When
like how you gonna get out of it? You can't.
when her and Kofi went on a date and they kissed at the end and she felt guilty, I
Yeah,
was like, I was cracking up.
yeah, she did.
This
Yeah,
is your
she did.
husband to be.
And it's
But
like, no, like you keep saying it with your head, but everything about it is no. But she
Did
always
they
had a good
say?
time.
Did they say how old he was?
I know he's in
Was
his
she
20s.
was she 26?
Yeah. The family dynamic was still great. You wanted her to be in this family, but you just wanted her to be with the right person. And it was like the more and more she spent time with him, spent time with the baby, with therapy with the baby, and then he was like improving so much.
So much.
And he really attached to her so quickly when he does not do that. Like those are all the good signs. You just bracing yourself for like the worst because neither one of them were saying we should change our like they all knew the obligation and what it meant. And he did place the priority like his brother higher than his love for her.
And that's a
I
lie.
think
And
it
I
wasn't
felt
true.
that was a
Right.
lie.
I was like, I think it was just him saying that to convince himself that he would choose. Because, yeah, no, when it's like that in the way that they felt, in the way that everything was just so peaceful and calm, and yeah, no, I know you gotta tell yourself that, and you gotta, try to convince yourself of that fact, but it wasn't a fact. And then invited her to the lake house, and they just had this whole family just time and
Ridiculous. That was
listening to the things that she likes and has books
ridiculous.
waiting for her and just
Why would you just
right.
making it more than, I mean, I know it's more than the sex for them, but you're making it worse by doing all those things.
By making it more than the sex.
Yeah, so much more like a real relationship.
Yep.
Of course, you ain't gonna want to end it when it's time.
Yep. Especially when she came back to her house and it was a man dropping off packages when she
And
was
he
there with her
almost
her
shot his kid off.
fiance and it had rolls on the neck on the freaking boxes. Like
He could have found out then.
I was
Oh,
like, is he gonna
Lord.
ask who Rose is? Is he gonna ask any questions? He didn't care.
Kofi didn't care about her like that. He was still
No.
trying to get his in before the
True.
end.
But again, he was also doing what his brother doing. It's like keep saying it and convincing himself that, this is the right thing and this is for the family, blah, blah, blah. But man, and they had all of these wedding plans that they making and have to go do cake tasting and fittings and all these different things. And it's just like y'all in bed together, but you could be late to an appointment to try on a wedding dress for your
Tuxedo,
brother.
wedding dress. I'm like, that's too much. Y'all just doing too much.
and he just
Too
like,
much.
I'm not gonna speed.
Right.
I'm gonna pay for you to get there when you can. I'm
He
like,
said, call her now, call her. And he got on the phone and said what he had to say. And it was just like, people, get yourself together. Like, stop it. And
Right.
then he came there for a session after they, handled some business somewhere with his son. And he came and he waited for the session to be over. And he was like fixing all the locks in her house.
Oh, yeah,
All
yeah.
that stuff. And then after the baby done fell asleep, and then they was just like, she's trying to stand her ground with this, like, stop. What are you doing? You don't have like, you have no say.
How long was it? How long did the baby sleep for? How much time did he have?
A long nap, wasn't it?
God,
Y'all gave that boy something. Y'all gave him something to drink. What y'all? I know y'all wasn't quiet. Shoot. We're all just suffering with them. It's like this is just not gonna end well and we don't know how it's gonna happen and like when is she gonna say something? Because I'm thinking maybe he would, but it's like then he keeps convincing himself or trying to talk himself out. So I'm like, okay, then maybe she would. And the more she would reveal it to people, the more they just like, oh well, baby, you just gotta, figure it out, get your heart out of it, have your fun, because you have obligation. Her mama was like, you'll learn to love him. Like, I'm like, Mama, you're not gonna be up here.
Their
So
honeymoon was set for 6 months. That's a long time.
traveling the world, girl, and all the places that are safe. So
6 whole long months. Oh,
that's what
wow.
happens when you got no kids. You get to do that.
No
So
kids. Right.
oh, and it was just so bad. It was so bad. Time has passed, and they're obviously following it. But Priest's mom had saw him when him and his son were about to leave her house, and she was like,
Who is
you're
she?
the woman because I see it all over you. And she asked him a question: do you love her?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, what he gonna say?
I know. Just waiting on it.
But he said, I do. And I was like, oh, suck it. Now somebody gonna die because I don't know how this gonna work out.
I know. Then his mom was like, she saw that he loved whoever it was, but she asked the question to see so he could realize it, And I was just like, oh, look at that mom.
They say once you verbalize it, that's how you know it's real. You gotta say that out of, and whew, I was like, oh well, so he done. So when she gonna admit it?
It was after that. That's when he stopped talking to her, right? He said that we gotta stop doing this.
I think
After that?
he said that after was it, I mean, would you call it a bachelor party? I guess that's what it was when him and the brothers had went to Berkeley.
Yeah, a week before, I think.
Oh, okay.
And they had a time, didn't they? All the girls. And I'm like, he keeps having this same girl at all the stuff. I'm like, is he gonna like, so that's all I assume that maybe she didn't have knocked up or something. That Haley girl who was the bartender.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like they were partying and getting drunk, and then Kofi was trying to like say that he was gonna do right. He knows why this is happening the way it's happening, and it was like he was coming to acceptance. But that same night, because they were staying at a hotel or whatever, because they wanted to get they freak on with the daggone strippers. But he left. He got on the plane and he left. And he went to go be with his woman one last time.
I thought something was going to happen to Kofi then.
You did?
Yeah, because he left him. He left everybody. And dude was high. He was drunk. He was out to have a good time. Whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
I don't know. I just felt like they was in a safe hotel. And then, I did.
I mean,
what happened to him? I don't know.
I felt like him leaving him because he said, I'm here, I'm gonna have to be the eyes and stuff, but then you left to go be with her, and I was like, ooh, that could have been a consequence. Like you left your brother kind of vulnerable. I mean, it's a lot of people there, but you were the leader, and I did.
And wasn't nobody clear-headed. Everybody was out to get their own that night.
And he went and got his. And that was just gonna be the goodbye. She was just crying, and it was like the week before when the brother was like, all right, this is the week I'm gonna get my head right, and everything stops. And like it was like my own heart was like, oh my gosh, this is real. It's a week away. They still have it. And then she's crying and she's depressed and all these things. And then her almost sister-in-law is like, hey, we got plans. You got to get up. You got rested up and stuff. And I'm like, Jesus, what's going, like, it's happening. Like, it's happening.
It's happening. That's how I thought. I it was happening, and right? I was sad about it.
At that point, it was like, what else? There's nothing else. It's days away. And, she had called her mom and finally admitted to her mom. And her mom was like, baby girl, that's just part of this life, And I'm just like, oh, so it's almost like preparing us all for this inevitable thing that's going to happen. And they're both just going to be heartbroken until they're able to get over it and just love who they're with. And I'm like, I don't want that for them, though.
Because he ain't had nobody.
No. But that was just so horrible. But then,
what was it there?
That wasn't nobody.
Practice?
Yeah.
I ain't know.
But oh, how sweet when she was on the phone with her mama and somebody rang that doorbell. And I was like,
sister!
All of them. 50 million of them.
Yeah, I was happy for her because
they so stupid though. Talking about, girl, you smell like rotten fruit.
Like,
my mama hung up the phone because she could smell you.
Yeah, I was just right there with them, man. I could just see that and just see the love and see the, yeah, they love for each other.
They all learned that night or that day. They all learned this is what's going on. This is why she, yeah, it was like, all right, well, you had your fun. No, like it was no out, nobody saw how that would happen, because if he chose her, that means that he would have to like drop his position. He would like that's a lot to give up, you know. And I ain't know if he's gonna do it. I was mad because it was like, oh, now we're at the rehearsal dinner. Oh, now we're at the, like just well, but he after rehearsal dinner after because they had that conversation. And she was just like, he thought she was hurt because of the person he walked in there with. And she was like, dude, I'm not hurt because of that. My heart is because of you. Because I want this to be you, but it can't be.
And a little bit because of the girl, because
You think it was?
she moved that fast a little bit. Just a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. But it was just like she has to sit there and she has to play this role until she believes it herself and it becomes real for her. But the crazy part was when her and her sisters were coming back to her house, this fool was standing out there. I didn't know what that was about.
Me neither.
And it turned out to be about business. And I was like,
They said, get yourself together before you get out of this doggone car.
right?
Go out there running to that doggone
You
man.
ain't desperate.
I love it. Her sisters is so dope. Like,
And then she ended up being the last one to come out, and it was just like face him, and she stood in her power and stuff, but then he was just spewing out the negotiations, the process, what's going to happen. You got to, come to me if the money is late. Come to me, blah, 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 blah. And then he started like choking up a bit. Then he started like stuttering his words, and I was like, oh my God.
Good. This was all because of him. He made up these rules. He set all this up. And now it's coming to you.
It was before he knew it was her.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm with Amy on this one. It don't matter. Once you realize it was her, it should have stopped it.
He should have shut it down. He should have shut it down. And it's like, now you're at this point, and like, what do you do? And then at the end, she ended up kissing him, and it was like that finality of like, that's it. Like, I mean, but dang, though, you get 2 million for every child and stuff, and then you get like 2 million every. Okay.
But it ain't even all about the money, though.
It's not. No, it really isn't. But I'm just saying, like, they made this agreement where for the family is going to take care of you. Of course, your brother is too. But they have all of these things in set, and I'm just like, what? And then she gets in the house, and her brother's there, and he saw that, like, look, girl, what you doing?
Oh my God, that's a part I had to read over. I'm like, that's chemistry.
It was like, that's not a good look. I was like, oh shoot, you don't count me, Jesus. No, her brother knows. And he saw the kiss, so he had to tell him. He's just like, oh, hi, buddy.
Like she could have her out, but she was like, no, I'm gonna do this for the family.
Mm-hmm.
But she was gonna stick to it. It's that doggone man that just could not after he done, because they really didn't have to get back together after those 2 years had passed. Yeah, she had a longing or whatever. Then when you saw each other, yes, the feelings and stuff came back, but you didn't have to follow through with that. This is all him, and he deserved.
No, but I'm just saying, when it's your heart, what can you do about it? He said it was their fate. It was nothing he could do about it. It was already set.
Well, if that's the case, why are you going along all these 3 months saying, "Oh, you gotta you gotta follow through, you gotta do that, you finna be her husband, you gotta treat her right"? Why are you saying all of this when it come down to it? You gonna wait until the doggone day? And then
he thought he could do it. He thought he could do it.
No. The doggone day?
Yeah, you don't wait. And then you late when you supposed to be here dressed. The nigga, then you gonna come in here. Yo.
That's when I stopped liking him right there.
Oh,
I stopped liking him.
That didn't happen.
I did. I was mad because all these words you said meant nothing. Nothing. You coming up here telling him he ain't this and he ain't. You not. You should have been saying something if that was the case.
He tried. Like he tried to make himself believe the lies, and he couldn't. I mean, you should do the night before, if anything, but don't do it like on the wedding day. Everybody there waiting, and then tell him to take off the damn suit. So you can put it on. Like what?
That.
Don't get blood on the suit because I gotta wear it.
You mad too. Talisha mad.
Like what? That conversation, yo. But yeah, little brother was like, he was like, he started going at your mama. I was like, oh,
that's what brothers do.
Oh, okay.
He say, I hit that yesterday.
He did. I'm like, did he know?
I doubt if he
Like,
did. He didn't.
I remember they kissed, and I'm like, you ain't gonna tell us, is you?
Right. She said a word because they didn't.
But
mhm.
yeah, he was like, you just like your mama. You know, I was like, oh, okay. The first time he said it, he was like, be respectful. Be respectful. I know we gonna have, he understands what's everything he's trying to, like, I know it's gonna be some, I know, but like, we gonna, be respectful about it. So I didn't think he was gonna be the first one to swing, though. I thought his brother was gonna. He said he don't care about that B. That's what he said. And I was like, oh, okay. You don't deserve her. We know that, but still, you was doing it because everybody was making you do it. You didn't want to go through, but like for kudos to everybody who was like, man, gotta suck up my feelings because this is the plan we made. And
Right.
when
The
the
plan he made.
when the daddy and everybody walked up in there, it's like my heart just like I was like, oh, because the way he did his daddy voice like scared me. I was like, okay. And then chemistry's back there, and I'm like,
She already knew
he
because
did.
solo. But yeah.
He did. And it's like, you can't give, but it's the daddy was like, after he told him what happened, he's like, whatever, just come on, let's figure this stuff out. Just go on. I was like, well, that is, it wasn't as bad. They would have to deal with the logistics of everything after the fact and
Because what else could they say?
nothing. And then everybody, he said, all this
Nothing.
motherfucking money I paid for this wedding, somebody getting married today. That's what he was talking about.
Yeah. And he rich. Like, shut
I
up.
know. So they must have spent some money.
Yeah, of course.
Um,
Of course.
but so I thought that he was going to end up at the end of the aisle, and then she was like going to see it when she walks down the aisle. But no, he came to the room to let her know what's about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
All him. She was
Yeah,
gonna go through with it, but he just had to drag her down with him.
man, please. So
I was happy though, man.
was
I ain't
too. I
gonna
don't know what
lie.
you
I
talking
was
about,
so happy. I was like, "Whoa, thank you, Jesus!" Because I
right,
really thought she was gonna have to marry Kofu, and I was
girl?
so mad.
That would
So
have hurt. That would have hurt so
yes,
much if
I'm
that
like,
would happen.
really? I was so mad.
Kofi, like he kind of accepted the terms. He kind of quickly after the fact, but he was
He
so
was
mad.
all right with it.
He
I
was
mean, because
so
he
mad
really
about
wanted.
the pictures.
He didn't really want it anyway, so he was all right with it. But it was just the way
How it
that
was
his brother
handled.
came to him like that.
Yeah, how it was
Yeah,
handled.
you telling me this and telling me that, and here you go having sex with her all behind my back all the time.
Yeah.
He was relieved, I'm sure. I
Oh,
mean,
for sure, for
but
sure.
still. Mm.
But he was more pissed about the his face being swollen or whatever in the
Oh
wedding
yeah.
than anything else. I'm like, well, shoot, I ain't gotta worry about that. But like, well, I gotta look like this in the pictures. Um, he's so stupid. But they finally got the wedding. Like, oh my gosh, they finally got the next day, whatever the time was, they couldn't do obviously they couldn't do the honeymoon because of the baby or whatever. But it was just like the completion, the whole like that's what we wanted for them, and the baby is going to thrive tremendously. Learning new vocabulary and talking more, and he called her sleeping booty. Like, yeah.
I love it, man.
Oh,
They stressed me out,
oh my
Yes.
Lord. Yes.
but it was perfect. Yes,
It was worth
yes.
of the turmoil within all of us thinking like they really finna do this and we just gotta sit here and watch it. Like, but yeah, so they gonna have their happy ever after everything working out and stuff, and then we learn Miss Rugger has an assignment now.
I didn't click the thing.
Stop it. Just read all of it.
It said to click the link if you want to. I didn't click it.
Oh, to read Priest story?
Yes.
Oh no,
To
no, I didn't do that
read the
either.
beginning of I guess, the Rugger book. I didn't click the link to read
No, well, it was like that last part of so it was after the epilogue I listened to um
that. I
because
don't
it was
remember
just
that.
her like not her. It was her talking to her daddy's grave. Yeah, and then because they ended up going back to the islands for a little bit, but then yeah, we just
Mm,
it was almost like the jump off of like, okay, next book is gonna be Rugger
mm.
and you know. But we got the happily ever after.
Years seem like.
That was hard to watch. I did not really think they were gonna get. I didn't think it was gonna get the happy ever after. I didn't.
I
I
didn't
did
think.
not, and I was gonna
Yeah.
stop. I wasn't gonna read the third book. So I'm like, I'm too sad.
I mean, it's because they had programmed it in our brains that
Mhm.
this is what's best for the family.
They
You know
have to
what I'm
do it.
saying?
Yeah.
This is what needs to happen. You are a free man because of them. Everybody knew their part to play.
Yeah.
So we already had in our head that they were gonna get married no matter what their
Right.
relationship was, but it didn't work out that way.
Yeah. And yeah, him having to like, have the meeting with everybody, like, his dad forcing him to resign because of his choice. And then, it's obviously gonna go down to the next brother. The next brother, like, no,
Julian ain't want
I don't want that. And then it goes down to the next brother. Nope, nope,
Oh
daddy. You need to go
nope,
ahead and get back to him.
give it back to him.
He the best man for the job.
I love it. I
And so
love
he got to have everything in the end, and
it.
no harm, no foul, and everybody is good and happy, and it worked out, and stuff like that.
Wait, the part where she had to make up with I call her
Oh,
Kaylee.
yeah,
Kylie.
with
Kylie.
Clay. Oh my gosh.
And when she says it's gonna take a minute for her to get over it, and she was there the same night or the next day because of your girl. Like,
Hmm.
what's she doing here?
Brother
She
said
was shaking.
the
Okay,
messed
the
up.
girl had a shook. She thought she was finna die.
She said she in a different country. I don't care.
Right? Nah, I ain't got no proof of
Trust
that.
it.
She
Yeah.
said, hang up the phone. No. She said, I give you permission to hang up the phone. Nope.
Mm-mm,
Nope. I
mm-mm.
love you. Okay. Look, I'm sorry. I'm not hanging up this phone.
She
Oh my
never
God.
scared that baby like that.
She was, because she had, like the brother said, oh, he was so pissed at her when she had got out the car and didn't even like check her surroundings and stuff because she's not part of that life. And, um,
Left the door open.
she the innocent one out of it. So yeah. And then, the conversation that she also had with Kofi after, the marriage and stuff, and just saying how she see how it's hurting her husband and she doesn't want this to, like, and she was apologizing and she explained everything to him. Everything gonna be all right. But the relationships they have to, yeah. People lied. And I mean, they really, I don't know if they thought it, they tricked us and thinking they were really gonna go through with it. She thought they were.
He did.
She just like apologized for lying about what was really going on and how she really felt and how everything kind of turned out. But they want to be family. They want this to just, let's move forward.
Yeah. And I think they will, like, because Kofi, he could have easily took the position, but he knew that his brother was the best match. And he
That's
also, so that showed that, he still got love for his brother. And he liked the little girl from the bartender because, they
right.
still talking and stuff.
Yeah.
So now he can actually do that without, so.
Yeah, doing like making his own choice because he was like, I didn't get a say in who I was gonna like have to spend the rest of my life with. That didn't sit well with him either. But like again, they just both had this obligation, and in real talk, like his brother got him out of it too. In a sense, like because he didn't want to go through with it, but he would. It saved both of them. Yeah, this was another 10 stars. My gosh, lady.
That's good. That's good.
Now, see, last time we had to choose between like basically Egypt and chemistry, but this time it's like rather and him and him, and I'm like on her side. Like I don't know, like she my favorite. I love him though.
Yeah,
I,
pre-16.
it
Yeah.
was just her trying to really like do the right thing despite her heart.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
hard. That
Yeah.
is hard, and he kept making it so freaking more difficult, and that was frustrating. How you gonna show up at my house? Stop it.
I still love me some chemistry. Just a sprinkle in there. I'm like, yes,
Sprinkle them in
you
there.
are the best.
Yeah. Oh, the baby. Yeah. Already finna girl. Not no play guns and stuff. Child, she too. These characters. My favorite new character though, like that wasn't in the other one. Let's just like pick a family member.
Oh,
That you got to see a lot more. Kofi was funny.
yeah. I don't really have one. I mean, I like the little sister, but
I know. It's like it was just like you knew, and we still trying to get the others. But roulette's still a fool, and I feel better now. We got it off my chest. Got it off my chest. We talked about it. So that was March's book of the month, Rather the Therapist by Grey Huffington. it gets everything it needs to get. It needs to have rewards and everything. If it don't now, people tripping.
It
Now
touches
Come on.
agree.
everything.
I
Everything.
agree.
I have nothing. It's like we get everything and more. So yeah. So that's all we got. We out.
Peace.
Peace.